This is an unfinished Runelite plugin that automatically tracks all of your hits and tells you how lucky or unlucky your hits are. I spent a month or so in 2023 working on this and got most of the groundwork done, but eventually lost motivation and put it aside. I will probably never get around to finishing it, but I figured it might be fun to share it and make the code public. So, every time you do an attack, the plugin calculates the probability distribution of how much damage you might deal. That's like how likely are you to hit a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, etc. It then adds this distribution via convolution with a running total distribution of all the damage you could have dealt since turning on the plugin. Then at any point you can just take how much damage you've actually dealt and place yourself on the distribution so you get a quantitative measure of how lucky or unlucky your hits have been. So far the plugin is pretty smart about calculating any given attack's hit distribution. Not every special case is accounted for, there's still lots of those to go, but currently it's accounting for things like your stats, your equipment, the NPC stats, NPC defense reduction, so like Warhammers and BGS, attack style and stance, prayers, Slayer helmet, salve amulet, void, current monster health, so like if there's only 12 health left on a monster, it knows you can't hit more than 12. Raid buffs like T-Bow and Shadow, etc. And lots more. There's tons of things to deal with. In the background, I have been whacking some Dark Wizards. I have dealt 246 damage. On average, I should have expected to deal 273 damage. On the running total hit distribution, I land at the 17th or 18th percentile. So my hits have been pretty unlucky. The 10th percentile of the distribution is at 236 damage. So 10% of the time, I should expect to get really unlucky and do 236 or less damage. And similarly, the 90th percentile is at 310 damage. So 10% of the time, I'll get really lucky and do 310 or more damage. The plugin references a JSON file with monster data. I generated it using a scrape of the wiki data done by the Fruitdeeps team, so thank you to them. It is super out of date now. I think it predates MUSPA. And also my script to generate the JSON is horribly messy and should not be used going forward. But it's the first time I've seen this idea used, and I do think it has a lot of cool applications for other plugins to be able to, instantly, in real time, pull monster data for any monster in the game. The big things left to do, in my mind, to quote-unquote finish the plugin would be to, one, create a better UI. This is kind of just a debug UI. You could make it more visually appealing, like put the distribution on there. Two, keep adding and refining special cases, like special attacks and reading specific things and unique interactions, that kind of thing. And three, some code refactoring and efficiency boosts, especially for the distribution convolution, which right now might get kind of slow if the plugin has been running for a long time. If you do decide to look at the code, it might be pretty messy. Sorry about that. This is the only time I've worked with Java, much less Runelite plugin development, so I don't really know best practices. It's also not documented particularly well, but it is all public, and I welcome anyone with any interest to fork the project or even just take, rip ideas and snippets from it for your own projects if you're interested. I'd love to hear about them if you do. Just let me know. So, thank you for watching.